Get your notepads ready. It's time for the Little Power Radio Show with your girl, Myss Meme, aka Meme the Great. What's up? I feel like singing that song. What's up? What's up? Come on,
what's up what?
Oh, never
what's
mind.
Up with the Bankhead Bounce?
No, that one? Not the song.
I don't know what you're saying.
That's what happens. Anyway, what's up, people? It's your girl, Myss Meme, aka Meme the Great. Welcome to the Love Power Radio Show. Today is what is today?
September 11th.
September 11th.
20 years later.
20 years later, yes. Mm-hmm. So first of all, prayers out to the families and all those affected by 9/11 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. Some good things have come out of that. Some people started businesses and organizations. And there's some that are still grieving. You know, it's something we never get over, is the loss of a loved one, a friend, or family member. So prayers for everybody involved or affected by 9/11 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
Ooh, it's been a long time. It don't seem like it's been that long.
I know. That's what I kept saying. I was like, 20.
Yeah, when I heard that on the news, I was like, many people can't count.
That's what I said.
Until I looked at it, I was like, oh.
Then until I tried to figure out what was left and right, and I was like, okay, maybe they can't.
Maybe I was doing, extra. So anyway, y'all already know it's been a whole 7 days since I've seen you. Mm-hmm. You know, I missed y'all. And then my girl sitting here at the table, I ain't seen her in umpteen months and hours and weeks, and it's been a minute.
Yeah.
So you already know. I want to know how y'all doing.
How you doing?
Dr. J, we're gonna go with you first. How has your week been?
Well, tiring.
Mm-hmm.
Tiring. It's like I don't know what battle to fight first. Do I battle like staying COVID free? Do I battle like not cussing nobody out? Do I battle like being a good mom and a grandma and staying free? Or do I, it's just been a lot. So each morning I wake up and I'll be like, okay, Jay, what's today's battle? Mm-hmm. And then I just be like, get through the day. Mm-hmm. That's it. And stay free.
Yeah. Stay free of
everything.
Oh, okay. People.
COVID free, people free, attitude free, religion free, cuss out free.
Just religion free. Well, cuss out free is a good thing.
Well, because it's on the inside. Because sometimes, I was telling one of my coworkers, I said, I got a good cry on the inside and it won't come out. Oh. It's like that good pimple that you be wanting to pop.
That's not the same.
And that's not the same. I thought it was. I thought that was a very.
I've never had pimples, so I don't.
Oh, you never had a pimple? Well, let me tell you. You never seen a pimple popper lady?
I skipped over her on purpose.
Okay. Well, it be stuff in there and you be trying to get it out. And then if it's not ready, then you just like squeezing your skin and you're causing pain. Oh. And then finally one day it comes to head and then it pops. Is that not a good analogy? Okay.
Yeah. So, my week thank you for asking.
I wanted to know how your week was. Did you encounter any pimples?
No.
Okay.
Never, ever. And actually, my oldest brother was the one that had pimples. I never had.
I bet you he would understand my analogy. Nobody thinks it makes sense, but in my heart, it makes sense.
It felt like it came from your heart. That's why
right there. Is this where my heart at? Is it this side? This? Yeah. I pledge allegiance
to the you. Yeah, so my week was great. I made it through. Mm-hmm. I'm always excited about seeing another day and having another opportunity to. I made some connections this week to different people and trying to step further outside of my comfort zone. So that was interesting and fun. And, part of me was like, I ain't doing this. And then the other part was like, no, you doing this.
Oh, yeah.
Because you've been asking for a thing, and in order for that thing to happen, you're going to have to move a certain way and go with some old stuff so you can add the new. So it was a great week.
Good.
It was a great week. I'm excited.
And then we end the week with our reunion.
I know.
And I'm already putting her to work.
Listen, already. We were sitting out in the foyer.
I heard all these dates. That's just some of them. Yeah, that is.
What you doing on this day? I said, nothing. Let me look. Ain't nothing on the calendar. She said, well, I need you the whole week. First of all, lady, I just sent you.
I'm just saying.
I just sent you. So First of all, so let me tell you guys who this young lady is. For those of you who don't remember her being a co-host of the show from way back when. That's been 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years. It ain't been that long, but
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. So this is Dr. Jennifer Gilbert, who is an author. Let's start with that. Okay, Miss Iris.
Yes, ma'am. I forgot Mama was on the line.
Miss
Yes,
Iris
ma'am.
said, then God says, you don't have to battle anything. Render it over to me.
He'd like to let me know.
He do. It's so wonderful. I'm glad. Thank you so much for
reminding us.
For reminding us, because it's a beautiful thing to know once you do know or find out and realize and understand that God talks to us in a manner in which that we will understand. He can't talk to me the way he talks to you.
Right.
He got to come to you with big words that I don't know, because you're Dr. Jennifer Gilbert. I'm just Mimi the Great. Right? And he got to come to me with that, okay.
Sugar.
I told you let's go tell last time.
Yeah.
And that was the 8th time. We're going for 9 and it should move. Right? So, but I'm grateful that he does, is able to come to us in a way that we understand and get us to move around. And
right.
Shake, rattle, and roll.
Yeah. Get with it.
Get with it. Come on, get jiggy with it.
You was just on, how was your week?
I hadn't gotten past that. No, I was talking about who you were. So I was introducing Dr. Jennifer Gilbert, who is an author, a singer, songwriter. Can I add
yes.
that? Okay, singer, songwriter, philanthropist, CEO of DDV 365. That's Domestic Violence 365. I know I'm leaving out something because you
J. Gilbert Ministries Publishing.
So how can I forget that? J. Gilbert Ministries Publishing.
J. Gilbert Ministries.
J. Gilbert Ministries. Pastor?
No, girl, stop doing that. You've been doing that for 29 years now. It's time to stop. Thou shalt not be a pastor. I heard it from the Lord. It was just fresh and clear right there. Just no, she's not ready for that. Her people skills is not anointed.
Oh,
no.
Okay. So minister.
Yes, that'll be fine.
Minister. And I think, well, I know a grandmother, but am I missing something?
Well, I had to be a mom first before I became a grandmother. Even though they all think they equal.
Skip over.
That, they just, she was, well, when we was a kid, you ain't let us do that. Like, because y'all wasn't cute like he is.
Grandmother's love. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Grandmother's
She's
love.
like, well, he get away with everything. I was like, Lord.
Because he's the grandchild.
Exactly. I pump him with sugar and I send him home.
Yes.
Grammy, love you. Go ahead. Drive your mama crazy. Yeah.
See you next time.
Yeah.
Now that you say that, that's how my grandmother was. What you want to eat, baby?
Whatever you want, you can get it.
So I would have anything. She'd have a cake. I'd be and ate it. And then it was time for me to go home.
Well.
So, thank you, Grandma. I ain't tripping. Amen. Because I was definitely that aunt.
Yeah.
So I don't have any children, but I am that aunt that will come pick up, spoil.
Yeah, we know.
And there's.
Yeah, we know.
I got a package for you. It's called Your Child.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah. I think every little bit counts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. But anyway, this is who I have sitting next to me at the table, and I'm excited because, like I said, it's been a minute. And we did quite a few things working together with DDV 365 with just doing shows and stuff and trying to keep people motivated with the different topics that we talk to. So I'm going to start with you first.
Okay.
What you been up to, man? Like, let's catch up.
Like, just trying to stay above water, like literally. Like, I feel like the world has been redefined.
Oh, absolutely.
Completely. And I'm just trying to find, I was so good at staying in my lane, but my lane just keeps moving. And I'm like, well, is my rotors bad? Is my steering off? Like, what is it? Because I know how to drive, but it's just the lanes keep changing, which means that the needs keep changing.
Right.
And so if we call ourselves ministry oriented, we have to change the lanes with the need and be sure to try to provide it to the best of our ability while still trying to keep ourselves in mind. And so that's been the biggest thing.
Keeping yourself in mind.
Keeping myself in mind.
And self-care.
Yes, it's
huge.
critical. Like I've joined like all these self-care groups to remind me to, take care of myself. So I've been taking myself on dates and stuff like that, just to kind of, I don't know what normal is. I'm still trying to find it.
Trying to find your specific normal.
Yes. And,
okay. Miss
Mm-hmm.
Iris, aha, not Pastor Lovett. Y'all funny. Thank
Hey,
you.
Mama.
I know, right? Thank you, Miss Iris. Always on point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and so you guys that are listening, please make sure you chime in because we have the wonderful Lisa, the boss lady, running the background, producing the show today. Say what's up, Lisa. Don't be shy.
Happy Saturday, y'all.
Can't forget that. Oops. She should have watched last week's show, Staying in Your Lane. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the topics that we talked about.
Okay.
But, with the state of the world as it is now, because everything has shifted so drastically,
right?
It is kind of difficult, because a lot of people got used to that comfort zone and how the old way was, and thinking it was going to go back to that point just because people are vaccinated, just because they've taken away the mask mandates. It's never going to be the same.
Right.
It's never. The news is always, I think, going to be full of, the numbers have gone up. That sort of thing. So now it's time to redefine what your lane looks like.
Yeah.
And for your lane, because I was perusing through your page, just one of your pages, I think you got like 8 of them, right?
Girl, I don't even know.
You have things going on. So congratulations, first of all, for writing and publishing 999 books in 1 year.
Really?
I mean, 13. I meant to say 13.
Yes.
Give us a picture of what that was like, because some people got a problem just writing a grocery list.
Right.
You talking about writing 13 books in a 12-month span.
Right.
And publishing. What was that like for you?
I want to say it was easy.
Okay.
Because every year I ask the Lord to give me something different. Show me something. I want to do something different, because I'm literally like one of those people who everything I've ever wanted to do in my life, I've done. And so every year at the end of the year, I shut down and I seek the Lord's face for the next year. Okay. What do I do now? And he said, we're going to go on a journey of healing. Nice. And I was like, I don't like the way that sounds. Okay. And so he said, well, what we're going to do is you're going to write one book each month. And I was like, what did I eat for dinner? It had to be something is causing delusions and stuff,
It's something in my
and so I literally did, and it almost became a journal of my year. Even though some of the books were written 2 and 3 in a month, they still had assigned months, but I was just getting them out, and I found out so much about myself. The first book for January is called Removing the Mask. It's okay to remove the mask now. The mask that we wore long before COVID. And so in that one, I talked about the different masks that I've worn over my life. The mask of forgiveness when I really didn't forgive, the mask of healing when I really wasn't healed, the mask of this and that and the other. And then February, which is the Lovers Month, it was called The Raw Realities of Singleness. Okay. And we talked about, all of the things that we as singles encounter nowadays. Men don't believe in courting no more. They don't believe in opening the door. They want defined roles. They want you pregnant in the kitchen, but they also want you on that 9 to 5 so you can take care of the house. Right. You see what I'm saying? Right. And that it was just a little bit much. So we did that. And it's almost like a devotional. Okay. Every day it's a new nugget, if you would, for you. And then March was really hard. It's called Digging Deeper. Okay. Going from brokenness to better. And it's like, Lord, and that was one of the hardest books I've ever had to write. I thought until, the latter part of the year. But that one is just, literally taking a shovel and just whying yourself to death. You ever had a conversation with a kid and you be like, Grammy, can we go to Pizza Hut? And you be like, no. Why? because I'm tired. Why? Well, why?
I need you to get off me. That was me.
Yes, it was just that constant. Why?
And then, well, how you know?
Yeah, and then it caused me to really like lump things together. Like, oh, that's why I'm like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's why I did that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's why I went there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's, the Bible says all things work together for the good. Now I can see the good because I understand the why.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the hardest book ever. Let me see, what was that? March.
Mm-hmm.
April was Lord Jesus. What was April? April was relationship versus the religion that killed me, but the relationship that saved me. And that was basically, I'm out here in these church streets and I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do, but they're teaching me doctrine and things, and they're not telling me how to apply it to my life until I got into a relationship with the Lord. And that is what saved me and brought me to a place where I can apply his word to my heart. I can apply his word to my situation and realize that it's through him that I'm saved, not the church house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at the church houses now, they're almost demolished because people don't want to go to church. Half the pastors don't want to go to church. Then they'll do Sunday service for that good offering, but they're not doing nothing during the week. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, I needed all or nothing. And so that book is really what got me together.
And so even with that, people have, in my opinion, gotten used to depending on the church for everything, right? When the church, the edifice, and not realizing the church is actually us. So was that also a book that showed you that, or did you already know?
I knew that. I was in the knowing of that.
Okay.
That this book was, I want to say, almost, it was a step into my knowing. Because the first book I wrote was Church It Ain't Easy, what all Christians need to know and what few take time to tell. And then I went and Deliver Us from People. And then there was, the fivefold ministry. And then, there was this. And so religiosity and relationship are both stairways. You have to take it one step at a time. And I didn't realize, most people feel like, well, because I know the Lord and I said the sinner's prayer, I'm going to heaven. That's not always true. You know what I'm saying? You can say that and preachers can preach that. And I call it pacify you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And make you feel safe. But then when the sky cracks, you're not there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not going where the masses believe that they're going. And that's because he said when he turned them away from the gates of heaven, he said, depart from me, I know you not. But you know the church. And so you're going to say that I was a part of, Myss Meme Memorial International Ministries. And he was like, I don't know them either.
Yeah, never heard of them.
You know what I mean? Because he wants a relationship with us. He did everything, every parable and everything that he used always dealt with the analogy of something that you can understand. When he went and he was talking about the seed and the sower, he was talking to farmers. When he was talking about, the buildings and he was talking to carpenters. He had to be, Paul said it best. He said, I became all things to all people that somebody may be saved. And I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what it is. And so that's what that book reminded me of. Nice. And it helped me to understand and make people feel okay, because that was written in a time when churches were still closed. And so people were feeling like down and depressed and suicidal and all of this. And the only comeback that I had was there is a relationship that can save you because religion has failed you.
Nice. And that was April.
That was April.
Okay.
And then May was called Father Jesus, Lord, oh God, I don't remember.
I'm just saying, wow, that was the title?
No, what was that one?
Okay, you coming out.
Yeah, I forgot that one. And it was really a good one, but I can't remember what it was. Okay. Then we're gonna go to that was May.
That was May. June
was thank you, Jesus. I remember what May, and I think I got them a little bit mixed up, but one of them is called I just went blank again. Anyway,
this is what happened
when you do lie. But then there was one that says he made a garden out of my grave. Yes, he made a garden out of my grave. And, you know, you call me broken, but I call me beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically just saying, hey, you know, all of these things broke me down. But instead of you thinking because I'm buried, I'm dead,
Mm-hmm.
how about you look at me as a seed and say, because I'm buried, I'm about to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can change our mindset to start thinking in that way, everything is not a bad thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And some people mistake when they see you out of contact, out of character. They're not sure what's going on. You know, so then they start making up stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then that becomes a part of our cave experience.
Mm-hmm.
And so therefore, I decided that, you know what? I've been through a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And this journey is starting to bury some things in my life. Finally,
Okay.
It's one thing to address something, but to talk about it in a manner of past tense
Mm-hmm.
and know, okay, because of this, I can move to my future.
Right.
And then that's what that book was about.
Nice. And so that's similar to how people would say, and I remember it being in a song, and I think the song was by Israel Houghton, turning your ashes into beauty or something along those lines.
Beauty for ashes. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, it's
Nice.
exactly what it's like.
Because
Yeah.
it can be done. And I remember when I first heard that, I was like, what? And then somebody at church did an analogy of literally ashes and turning them into something that was, you know, how they can be used to grow plants. And I was like, y'all tripping. But when you add the ingredient God, anything is possible.
Right.
And it was after that I remember seeing the prettiest multicolored rose I'd ever seen in the crack of concrete.
Wow.
A multicolored rose, something that has to be put together to create in the middle, literally in the middle of concrete about this wide, and that was the only thing that was there.
Right. Yeah.
It was a small crack, and it was a rose, and it was just standing there, and I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
You're trying to show me something.
Right. Exactly.
I'm listening.
Yeah. So even though you thought you was cracked up, he about to crack you up for real.
For real.
By showing you the beauty that can come in the most unknown places. Oh, that'll preach. That's a good word. That was a good word.
And so we're at what? June, July?
June was a double doozy. June is the month that I wrote 2 books. I was in a play with Harold Trotter.
Okay.
And I was the news reporter, but you know, we used to have to go to rehearsals and all that stuff.
Right.
And it was called No Justice, No Peace.
Yeah, because that was the one he did the award thing at the end.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And so we did it, and you know, one of the head characters, her name was Grace in the play. She's Ariel in real life, but she couldn't get into character in rehearsal. And so, you know, Harold Trotter with his amazing self was like, okay, perfect. I got the great exercise for you. Okay. So he turns off the lights. Now we're all in the room. He turns off the lights. I'm already got my guards up, like what we about to do, you know. And so he walks up to her, and her story was her father was killed by the police. Okay. And so she was now advocating to the upper powers about what was going on. And she just couldn't bring the passion with it, you know? And so he came up behind her and he was like, you know, you ain't blank, you ain't gonna never be blank. You don't know how to love a man because your daddy wasn't blank, your daddy wasn't there to show you. And I mean, we was all like, oh my God. I lost all lines. I was just like, wow. Yeah. And so I was in the middle of writing a book called Messed Up. And then he did that. And it reminded me the conversation that I never had with my father. So I wrote a book called Daddy's Girl in like 3 days. Wow. And this book was a journal of my feelings. It was the conversation that I always wanted to have with my father, but I could never have it because of the fact he always had an excuse and a comeback. And sometimes that's not what we need. I just need you to hear how it affected me. You know, this is my moment. Let me have it because you weren't there. So let me talk to you. And so that's what I did. And I was like, it was very deep, even though it was only written in 3 days. And I talked about, the abuse that I had went through and you weren't there. And, perhaps I don't know how to love a man. That's why I prefer to be single, because I don't want to mess nobody up because you messed me up. You know what I mean? And so, I just went through all of these days of this, another journal for the whole month of June. And I was like, whoa. And so I released it. I went to Harold and I told him, I said, based on, our rehearsal 3 days ago, here's this book that I wrote. And I gave him the very first copy, the one that the author gets to say if it's cool or not, So I gave it to him and, he blessed the book in his own way. And then the entire cast purchased a copy of the book.
Nice.
So when they read the book, like the next rehearsal, they came back and they had read the book and they was like, what was really most gratifying for me was when the men came and said, you changed my mind about fatherhood, because I don't want my daughter to ever have to have that conversation with me.
Yeah.
And it was like, just take accountability. Just, it ain't my mama's fault. She dead and gone. She can't defend herself. You know what I'm saying? Everything that my mama said about you, now I'm starting to see it. So she can't be all the way lying.
Right.
Now, I know she might have, added a little salt and pepper, but at the end of the day, can you hear my pain?
Yeah.
And I still have not given that book to my father yet. Just saying. But it was really
good. Is it going to
good.
be a Christmas present?
Actually, I was going to give it to him for Father's Day. His birthday is the day after Christmas, so
Wait, are you laughing at me?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yes, she was. I saw her.
Hysterically, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think that's a good idea. I think so. I'm gonna give it to him, even if I give him the whole. She done went too far.
What?
She done went too far.
The wrapping bag was gonna be cute, but I said I'll wrap it for you. What?
Okay. Anyway.
What is this team thing?
Okay.
It'll be nice and Christmassy though. I'm trying to help you out. Sometimes you need somebody to, it's like playing football.
The last time you helped me out.
Okay, so
we won't get to that. Book. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
You said you had 2 for June.
2 for June. And then July was Help Me, I'm Suffocating in Sacrifice. And it was just basically talking about all of the things that we do, especially as women and especially as mothers, the things that we sacrifice in our life for other people. And then we get mad because we can't find time for ourselves. When the reality is you done it.
Yeah. Ooh,
you did it. It says I'm messed up, not you messed me up. I'm messed up because I chose to, stay home and watch the grandbaby versus go on a date with a potential mate. Or I chose to have my schedule where it's booked from here to kingdom come versus saying, okay, you know what? 3 days a week, I'm gonna sit down and do nothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I can't be mad with anybody else because I'm suffocating myself. Wow. And on the cover, it has a lady who is literally suffocating herself. She got a bag over her head and she's like suffocating herself.
Wow. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that because so many people, especially women, do that and get so caught up in it, they don't even realize it.
Right.
And then by the time you realize it, it's months, years later, and you're looking back like, what just happened?
Right.
Where did all the time go? And they go through that. Those levels of frustration,
right?
Being mad at this person and that person because you took time for me. No,
right?
You could have told me. It's called telling them no.
Right. Exactly.
Right. And I remember having that conversation with my mom because she had one of those moments where she felt like she had missed this and didn't do this, and I ain't got time to do it. It's like, why not? It's called tell them no. It's okay. Yes. We're supposed to go out and help others and do for others. However, if I'm not mistaken, we're not supposed to drain ourselves in doing so because you drain yourself. What else is there left?
But that's a cultural limit, a cultural lineage issue. We have always been taught the mom is everything and everybody. And if this child fails, it's a reflection of who she is. If this child can't do that, it's a reflection of who I am. If that, all of these things happen, it's my fault. And I believe that even though we had to go through the whole pandemic thing, I think that was the best thing in life that ever happened to me because I had no choice. now, but to sit down. I had no choice but to look in the mirror and see me for who I really am. I had no choice but to sit down and ask myself, what is it that you really want? You're doing all of these things. What is it that you really want? At the end of the day, what do you want? And that is what brought the next book, which is called Who Am I?
And that was for
August.
Okay.
August book is called Who Am I? And it's just a whole bunch of different tests for you to take to figure out who you are. And then at the end, there's a journal that tells you, now write who you're not.
Nice.
I'm not Jesus. I'm not the Savior. I'm not the, know all be all. I'm not the beginning and I'm not the end. I'm just in the middle part somewhere. You see what I'm saying? And it frees you from the responsibility of feeling like I got to be all things to everybody and forget myself.
Yeah, I got to be Captain Saver.
Yeah. And then
that's actually one of those hats you can take off and be okay.
Matt, watch this. Take off the whole costume.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
It's good when you got the mask and the hat, but what about when you wearing the whole costume? And it takes you, and when you get into the mirror, you don't even know who you are because you got on an HVAC suit. Don't nobody know who you are. I'm not protecting myself from Corona. I'm protecting myself from myself. Right. Yeah. And then that brought us to October, which is I'm about that life, fighting for the life that I deserve and desire.
I have to look at you because your thug will be sticking out.
Yeah, it's a little thuggish. It's a little thuggish, but it tells us how to fight for ourselves, how to make our life personal, how to decide this is my life, this is who I am, this is what I want. It's like it's okay to be about you. And that's what that book is all about. It's just,
and that was going to be my question. So to actually let people know that it's okay that's not being selfish. It is, but it's not in a negative manner.
Right.
Because you have to be selfish
in
order to be who God expects us to be. And then to be able to live our best lives.
Right.
I can't be you.
Yeah. And that was one of the biggest reviews that I got from a lot of the survivors, and I got a lot of feedback on that book. It's actually that book and the next one won an award. And the book, the ladies were saying, I feel so guilty trying this. I feel so guilty because people are asking me, and then I say no. My husband calls me selfish. My husband says that I'm all about me and I'm spoiled and all of that. And I said to her, do you remember Jesus when he went to the Garden of Gethsemane? He had 12 disciples, but he only took 3 with him. And those 3, he told them to stay at the bottom while I go to the top and tarry. What was he doing? He was providing self-care for himself.
Wow.
That was the place where he can go and be the most vulnerable. And he can say, okay, God, if it be your will, I'm going to do it, but I ain't feeling it. Like, this ain't my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to do whatever you call me to do, but this right here, this don't feel good and I don't like it.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I don't even think they're going to appreciate it. And then, he can go on. These are things that you can't say to normal people. That's why, for me, it's vital to have a team that, you can go and you can be like, girl, listen, can I be human right now? Those conversations, because I was like, it was just, it just gets to be too much because everybody has that expectation. And so when I wrote that book, I was fighting the expectations that everybody else had for me. And I raised the expectation that I had for myself.
Nice.
So that I can live my best life. And so I thought, okay, the rest of the year going to be a breeze. Then comes PTSD, post-traumatic stressors of domestic violence.
Nice.
And it basically goes through all of the symptoms and the after effects, the aftershocks, if you would, of domestic violence. I wish that I could say that when you walked away, that it got better. No, it just gets started.
Yeah.
And it takes years. I've been out of domestic abuse for years now. And when I did this, I took all of the symptoms that the National Health Society and all those say that are symptoms of PTSD. And I likened it to domestic violence. Insomnia, you're not able to sleep because you're still trying to figure out life. I done left him, so now what do I do? I said no, now what do I do? Where do I go now? You know what I'm saying?
These things that were provided for me in this situation without going back, without feeling like I need to go back and deal with that.
Yeah. And knowing what to expect. You know, he ain't gonna, or he or she is not gonna just let you, you know, waltz in the wind and think everything is perfect. No, they're gonna do everything that they can to manipulate your process, to make you feel like you need them. Sometimes it works because when your baby come and be like, "Mom, I'm hungry," and then you're thinking, oh, "I ain't got but $2 in my pocket and it got to last me for 2 weeks." Okay, maybe I do need him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so when DDB 365, when we first started, it was just going about rescuing people and taking them to shelters, and rescuing people and taking them to shelters, and rescuing people and taking them to shelters. And we did that. We've saved now over almost 6,000 women. And men, and children, I'll put it that way.
And that's only been up for
2 years.
2 years. Jesus.
Yeah. And so now what we're doing now is we're shifting gears. And because I felt remiss in going and getting you and taking you out the situation and taking you to a shelter, and then they just let you sit there and drown and drink and pity party, and you know there's no expectation, there's no direction, and these are supposed to be you know. And so now we've created programs for shelters. We go into the shelters, which you'll be doing thinking, but we go into shelters and we give them something to do. We give them something to look forward to. We give them something to think about. And it's not so much that you won't go back. That's our prayer.
Right.
But if you do decide to go back, we want to give you some nuggets that you'll never forget when you do.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
So you'll be a different person.
Right. Now we didn't open your eyes, because you have to realize you have 24 to 48 hours to make an impact in an abusive person's life, in a survivor's life, that will impact them no matter what.
Okay.
You got 48 hours, because the first 2 to 3 days is the hardest for them.
Yeah.
They're having withdrawals, and it's crazy, but it's a such thing as called abuse withdrawals. Ain't nobody over here hitting you, so you feel like they don't love me, they don't care about me. Look how they talk about me. Look how they feel. You know, they think they better, and you know all of that. You have 48 hours. So within 48 hours, you know, I get with different shelters. Okay, what's going on?
Yeah.
How many intakes you got?
So you got to reprogram.
And then go out to the shelters and talk to them. And it's been a blessing. This month, actually, in a couple of weeks, we're going to have an under construction conference. Okay. And we are baptizing a number of survivors that have been begging. But it's just the little things. It gives them something to look forward to. And that's what we done. And then there was November, From Me to Me, Letters of Deliverance. Okay. From Big J to Baby J.
Okay.
And that one was amazing, because for all of these years, I had went to therapy and stuff like that to make it a better me. But one day I was laying before the Lord, and he told me, he said, you can be a better you all you want to, but you're still making little girl choices, because you're healed, but she's not.
Oh, wow.
So I had to go back to all of the things that I've been through and talk to my little self and say, first was, all these abuses. I call it birth abuse. You didn't ask to be here.
True.
They was ooching and ahhing, and then you came. And now ooching and ahhing, that's a good one, ain't it? That's a nugget.
And look,
it's gonna bless you. Yes. It's gonna bless you.
Hashtag ooching.
Yeah, but it was just that, and then just going through, I talked to myself about my rape. Nobody told your mama to go lock you in that cellar. Yeah, you know what I mean. You didn't ask to be there. He didn't know you were going to be there. But guess what? Your freedom comes in your forgiveness. I didn't even have no beef with the man that raped me. I had beef with my parents and the way that they dealt with it.
Right.
I had to release it through that. And that was the chapters is my name spelled Jennifer Lorraine. And every chapter has a word that's associated with that letter. Wow. And then I wrote a little note to her. And that was the most fulfilling thing I've ever done in my entire life.
Nice.
And so then after having done all of that, we come to I refuse to apologize. Favor ain't fair.
Okay.
That's it.
Nice.
That's gonna be the goal.
And I feel, have you already done that? You've already done that one, right?
I'm working on to it.
Okay. Okay. I mean, we already moved an hour, and so we might as well have it.
It'll be done. It'll be done this weekend. That's my goal, to get it done this weekend.
This weekend we in right now, like today, Saturday, Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is fair. So wow, that's a lot. I mean, just talking about it, it reminds me of having a series of books that can be correlated to a 12-step program. Right?
Right.
Because you started with the self-evaluation, which is the equivalent to admitting that something is wrong.
Wow.
Right? And so going through all those,
you're gonna hear this again, right? Y'all know that. I don't. Okay, go ahead.
Removing the mask. All of these things are the equivalent to a 12-step program. So it would be to a detriment if if y'all want to purchase the books as a set.
Yes.
Right? Where can they go for that?
They can go to jgilbertministries.com. They can go to amazon.com, or they can attend the Favor Ball. And in the Favor Ball, we are actually putting it all into a box. All books are going to be in a box, and then they can buy it as a set.
Oh, nice. And
yeah.
After these messages, because we're going to go to commercial break, we'll talk more about the Favor Ball and what you might see in the box.
All right.
This show was sponsored in part by Flat Fee Tax Prep and Services, offering quality tax preparation serving clients nationwide. For more information, visit www.flatfeecreditandtax.com. And don't forget to mention Stunner Radio sent you.
You remember Meme?
Oh, hey.
Yes, Valentino is about to get married, honey.
Is he available?
He's still in San Antonio.
Okay.
Yes, I'll be officiating.
We're back to Love Power Radio Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. What is
the stuff that happens behind the scenes?
That part. Oops, y'all almost caught us.
Yeah.
So tell us more about the Favor Ball. It is December 3rd.
Friday, December 3rd at 7:00. It is going to be absolutely amazing. It's leaves you speechless.
But its primary goal is to support and show love to survivors that you've been working with who are prayerfully by that time will have their books done.
Yes, that's a good way to say it. Yes, Jesus.
I was trying to get it right.
Yes.
Words to everything.
Yes. Yeah. Well, at Gilbert Ministries Publishing, what we do is we've been in movement now for about 2 years. And the first year we had all of the people who published their book under JGM, we put them in a magazine. And then this year we decided that we would have a whole ball. And it's not just for the survivors. They're going to be naturally the source of it, right? But we wanted to do something with worship without words. I don't know about anybody else, but since COVID has been taking place, it makes me like, when I go to church now, I don't be wanting to hear all that hollering and screaming and dancing and turning flips and they be turning flips and they be jumping like they got Tourette's, and I be I ain't delivered all the way, so I'm working on it. But so this event is the Favor Ball. It is centered around the book, the completion of all 13 books, even though it's supposed to be 12, 13 books. We're celebrating all of the authors who have published through JGM this year. And then including the survivors, because you have to remember that the survivors, we can't publicize their work and sell their work like we can do everybody else's because they're under protective care. So the Favor Ball is a way for us to celebrate them. It gives them something to look forward to. It goes back to that 12-step program, because when they're just sitting in the shelter, they don't have anything to look forward to. But okay, I might get a job. Or maybe today I'll get my license, or that kind of stuff. So if we give them something, we dress them up, we talk to them about something else outside of their situation. You know what I mean? They're all excited about being baptized this month. They're all excited about the ball, and we just pray that we get content. Praise Jesus.
Amen.
And then they will all be So all of the authors will have their own table, at least one. They have to purchase a table, and their table will be decorated around their book. So
that's going to be neat.
yes, it's going to be very, 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 very neat.
So will there be tickets sold to the event?
Yes, the tickets are available on Eventbrite. They're only $15. And if you want a table of 6, it's $75 naturally. It's still the same, but it gives you your table. And they can also, purchase it from me, J Gilbert Ministries, JGM, any other staff, any team. There's 99,000 ways to get tickets, but we are running out of space already.
Good.
We got a larger venue, in our back pocket, but I really wanted to keep it intimate because there's less legalities when it comes to the victims and all that. Yeah.
That's
So,
nice.
Mhm.
I'm excited for that.
yes.
Because again, like you said, it gives them something to live for. That's not the norm.
Right.
And then it's also showing them that there's life after.
Yeah. Exactly.
I was in this thing or in that thing for however many months or years, and probably was brainwashed into thinking I couldn't be anything other than a punching bag. I couldn't be anything other than whatever I was being told. And here now I'm about to be an author.
Right.
So if somebody for designer or a boutique or a men's store, because there are men survivors would like to donate your time, your
resources, talent, makeup artists.
Makeup artist, stylist.
Yeah.
You want to donate a $9.99, right?
Right.
They can contact you at J Gilbert Ministries.
Or they can contact you.
How did that happen?
I don't know. I think it was like a ricochet.
Anyway. So, sure, you can DM me at Love Power Radio Show on Instagram and or Facebook, and I'll get all the information and pass it along, because it is December 3rd, and that's coming up really, really soon. So we want to make sure that all of the ladies and men involved are able to come out in style, because it's huge. That's a huge, huge thing. Yeah, and
to think that their first step out it's already a source of income for them, because some of them are far enough where I have approved for them to pre-sale.
Nice.
So they're already getting money. And, they can kind of send out to who they want, who is safe for them. And then, I always think 10 miles ahead. It's like, okay, you're going to have this book. I'm going to read the book because I'm the editor and da-da-da-da. And it's going to let me know what we need to hit on for next year.
Right.
In our next 12-step program.
So to pull from their book to create edition number 2 or part 2 of nice.
Yeah, and it'll be like their own prescription plan. So I want you to go and read this book, and then I want you to do this. And I want you to read this book, and then you do this. That's what it's called.
Okay, cool. So you actually have like a How to Write a Book Academy.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We do that. With next year, my goal is to do it once a quarter. People want it every month, and I just can't. I don't have the time. But yes, we do have.
We have a message. I thought you. From Miss Iris. Let's pray for a secure place if more space needed, because COVID is still among us. So space is good. Yeah, so true.
Yeah,
so true. And it's not just. That's a whole nother topic, but yeah. It's still among us, and still needing to do the social distance and the making sure everything is taken care of and wiped out and things of that nature. So definitely.
And Miss Iris is actually going to be presenting to our DDV 365 Survivor of the Year.
Yay, awesome.
So I am super excited, because that's the mama of DDV 365.
Yeah.
Like she'll be like, excuse me, can you sit down somewhere?
You already know. It's good. You don't know Miss Iris, you will get you in check.
Yeah.
She will keep you in line, and it's all for the good.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that I'm super excited about. Besides the books and stuff, is to see having Tamika, who is our current brand ambassador, the mother of DDV 365, changing the guards to the new one. That's gonna be amazing. I can't wait.
Oh, that's gonna be really, really nice.
Yes.
That's cool. Okay.
Yes,
Awesome.
honey.
Sure, appreciate you coming through. So you have some acting gigs that you're in. Don't be, look, you've done it. What? I got a text. Well, can I mention? Yeah, you can mention. It's 3:47, so you gotta mention.
No, well, I'm not. I'm okay. I'm gonna say this one more time. I'm done with acting for a minute.
Those were speaking engagements.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay. That's
yes.
what you did. Okay, my bad.
Those I'm done with acting. I mean, I love it, but it's time consuming.
Okay.
And I need that one quick, hit it and go.
Tell
So it is I'm completely booked from now till November, really December, probably January. But there are so many things that are near and dear to my heart. We have today I went to the Praise of the Park for Amber Shaw. Mm-hmm. I was there for a short time because I had to come here. Sold all the books that I had. So I have no books to show you guys. Sorry. And then next week we are doing The Cost of a Yes Too. Okay. It's a conference where, it's just a panel. There's no music. It ain't none of all that hoopla. We're going to sit down and we're going to have real conversation. The last time, honey, we talked about everything. And this is pastors and leaders and stuff. And the audience can ask us whatever. And we have to give it to them real.
Open to the public.
And it's open to the public.
Nice.
And
that going to be?
That is going to be at in Pure Atmosphere Church. Pastor Drew Shaw, Apostle Drew Shaw. Mm-hmm. He's going to do it. And Jay Bass is going to be moderating. I'll be one of the panelists on there again.
Is that in Houston?
Mm-hmm. It's off of Alameda, Genoa.
Okay. I
think it's 8405 or something, 8510.
Give me that so I can post it.
Yeah.
It is truly time out for people to be assuming. And
we don't want no more. We don't want no more Bible stories. I mean, don't forget, they're applicable to what we're doing in life. Absolutely. But right now, I need you to tell me how I'm supposed to make it.
Yeah.
How can I believe in God when every time I pray for one thing, 10 more things happen, mm-hmm. and all 10 things affect me? Mm-hmm. But I make too much to do this, and I don't make enough to do that, and I'm trying to make it, and then y'all telling me to worry about a credit score when the U.S. of A. is 22 or 32 trillion dollars in debt, and you want to talk to me about my credit score? I don't want that. I don't want you to fix my credit
score. But these people that they finna bring over here that just ran away, you're gonna give them like you were giving all the other ones. Okay.
That does not get started. But that is kind of the conversation that we have, and we talk about a number of things. They don't tell us what we're gonna talk about till we get there, so I can only tell you what we talked about the last time. So there ain't no. The Bible says, David said it best. He said, "Thy word have I hid in my heart that I may not sin against thee." Mm-hmm. And so this is one of those activities that you have to have the word hidden in your heart, mm-hmm. or else you're going to sink. Yeah. Because you can't just get up there and be like, girl, you're going to make it. I don't want to hear that. Yeah. You need to give me some scripture. You need to give me some resources. You need to give me something so that I can tangibly walk out of this room and tangibly go talk to somebody, right. and tangibly get the assistance that I need.
Well, and then also make it plain.
Right.
That's one thing that I have truly enjoyed about when we used to sit across the table all the time is mm-hmm. how you were able to show the word today, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. Because so many people don't pay attention to the word. They ain't trying to, because the last time I read a book, or it was dying, and doused and ernst and all of them, I don't know none of that. Okay?
Right.
So to be able to take that and you digest it, mm-hmm. but regurgitate it in a way that
she gets it.
Mm-hmm. I get it. Mm-hmm. Somebody else who ain't looked at a Bible, ain't trying to look at a Bible, their interest is now people. Mm-hmm. That made my spirit jump. Mm-hmm. Wait, you up to something over there? What you talking about? So now you've done your just and you brought them to a space where, okay, maybe it is okay for me to go back. Mm-hmm. Maybe it is okay for me to listen to a gospel song I ain't heard. I ain't trying to in a hot minute, but now that I've heard this, so that's huge.
It's gonna be. I know some of the topics. And one of the topics is sex and masturbation, and we're gonna be talking about those things.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, because we need to know, you're single. As singles, we got COVID, we got all of this stuff. You talking about you want to meet and greet and you want to do all of this and you want to do it. It's just safer to just, I'm not saying that it's okay, but that's the mindset of some people. It's just safer for me to just take care of me and keep it pushing. Yeah. And it'd be like, well, no, give me a scripture, tell me I can't. And then, that's when you get into that word have I hit my heart. You know what I mean?
True.
So, we have that. And then the following Saturday we have.
That's the part that if I go, I'm going to have to tip out because I don't want to know.
You don't want to know what?
Huh?
You don't want to know what?
You were saying, what's next on this?
The other thing is we are going to be talking about, Under Construction is on the 26th. That's at, I was going to say Little Power Radio Show. It's at Blood Covenant Church. Yeah, it's at Blood Covenant Church, and it's going to be amazing. We're going to talk about what it means to be under construction and how to rebuild. Okay. It is for everybody. The survivors will be there. The survivors will be getting baptized. I don't even know how many at this point. I'm just going to wear my whole one set and my robe and let it be what it is. That's that. Yeah. Okay. They're getting baptized. I mean, you don't want me to put my 2-piece on now because them 2 pieces be big. Yeah,
I heard onesie. That's what I kind of heard.
Girl, you know, I will put one on in a minute.
That's why I was like, first of all, this is cheering, cover your ears.
Yeah, and then all next month is gonna be bonkers. Is the October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Mm-hmm. Week 1, I think I will be in Austin. Week 2. They're doing a hush conference. You don't have to hush or something of that nature. Oh, cool. And then in the second weekend, I will be here in Houston at the We Survive conference. And then the third week, I don't know, you're going to be there at Nisi Dobfield. She's having a whole weekend of events. Yeah, and so I'll be speaking at both of her conferences. And then you have... somebody else and something else. Follow me on Facebook.
That part. She got a whole plethora.
Yeah.
If you want to be in the know, Gilbert Ministries.
Yeah, J. Gilbert Ministries. Jennifer Shonuff, Bless Gilbert. On Facebook. And DDB 365 and J. Gilbert Ministries Publishing. Those are all separate pages on Facebook. On IG, I forgot. I think it's Dr. Jennifer Dr. Jennifer Gilbert on Facebook. On Instagram. See, it's too many grams and TikToks and boops and bops. I can't
have you
keep
done
up.
TikTok yet?
Girl, no. Okay. My TikTok be like, girl, it's time to go to sleep. That's what my TikTok say. Yes, ma'am.
And mine's gonna be it's almost in the show.
Yeah.
So we got 3 minutes.
All right.
You already know at the end of the show, I love to do love notes. You got one?
After you.
What? No, I'll go last. I'm the host.
Oh, she pulling rank. Okay. So my love note to you is to find your good place. Get into that good place. Mm-hmm. Reside in that good place. Mm-hmm. And put nothing above your peace.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, nothing. That's so simple, so plain. That's so beautiful. And with that, I think, no, I'm just kidding. Mine, I was watching a video of Viola Davis earlier, and someone had asked her how she dealt with or deals with mental health issues and things like that. And she was like, I own everything. And I don't let anybody tell me how to live, how I'm supposed to be, what it's supposed to look like according to what I'm doing, because this is my lane.
Right.
So own everything about you. The good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent. Own it. And work your way accordingly, because nobody can tell you how to be Jennifer.
Right.
Nobody. Right. I love these commercials where they're talking about they're the people like, okay, at the end of the commercial, you see, okay, that information was useless. And that person has that facial expression because they went to this person for, I need help with this. Right. And the information that was given was completely, oh, girl, you got it, kind of like you said earlier. And the information that was given was useless. So nobody can tell you how to be you. Right. They can only empathize with you as far as their experience. So if you've been through a thing.
That's good.
And they, don't be mad because they gave you their 2 cents, baby, because that's all they got is 2 cents.
Right.
Go and take what you need out of that 2 cents. You may only need a quarter of that 2 cents, and then go on to the next. But most assuredly, what you don't do, if I can encourage you, never quit.
That part.
Never quit.
You can take a break.
You can take a break.
Have a temper tantrum. Do all of that.
Absolutely. Feel all those feelings.
And get going.
Dust off, get up. And make it happen, because something is better on the other side. And then there's chocolate bar. So, thanks so much for tuning in. Right? It has been real, your girl, Myss Meme, aka Meme the Great. Until next time, have an awesome fantastic, prosperous week.